rise one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Took me a while to get to this place. I'm so glad I'm in this space, accepting all my flaws, embracing authenticity, 'cause there's nobody quite like me. Oh, I like being me. So I'm created to be original, not to copy. I'm gonna tap on these, to love again. Gonna celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be? Refuse to give up on me. To love again. Gonna celebrate this life, walk in liberty. Every trial that came my way, I was searching for a brighter day. That day finally here. That day finally here. Through life's struggles, ups and downs, I'm so glad that I have found love that's unconditional. Yeah, all I went through prepared me. All God wanted me to be. I'm gonna tap on these, to love again, love me again, celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be? Refuse to give up on me. To love again, to love me alone, celebrate this life, walk in liberty. Oh, it's incredible. This joy is unspeakable. Living life with no regrets. Each blessing was a blessing. I'm gonna tap on these, love again, to love again, celebrate this life, walking who am I supposed to be? Refuse to give up on me. To love again, to love me again, celebrate this life, walk in liberty. I'm gonna clap, 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 learning to love all over again, celebrate this life. I'm gonna, yeah, clap, 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 clap for me, celebrate this life for me, learning to love me over and over again, yeah, clap, clap, clap. I'm gonna celebrate me, celebrate this life. I dream to see, yeah, oh yeah, clap, clap, clap. Gonna celebrate this life, walk in liberty, give my life.
All right. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Thank you for sharing some of your Saturday with me. There are some states that have decided to open back up to business as usual. If you are in one of those states like I am, be wise and be safe. Continue to wash your hands and cover your mouth when you sneeze. To be cautious, just because you can do something, you don't have to. I have been out today. I volunteered at the food bank like I do every first Saturday with my church. It was a little bit different being back in that space when you're in a loving church and you're used to hugging. We were just looking at each other, wanting to hug each other with the thought that we have to, kind of get accustomed or figure out what we're going to do next. But today, my guest is some author, Samantha J. She's an author, she's a speaker, and she's a career and business coach. Samantha, are you there?
I'm here. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Thank you for joining me. It was such a pleasure to meet you on Tuesday.
Yes, it was.
So I always try to bring my listeners somebody that's going to take them to the next level. And I believe you are that guest. I've been bringing in some pretty good guests. And the reason why I asked you to come on, because what you do a number of things. But with this COVID-19, there are some people that have probably nourished and nurtured whatever their dream goal was, their business goal was, or maybe they decided, I don't want to work this job anymore. Maybe I need to figure out what my career is, what my passion is, or maybe I need to move into business. So that's why I have you here, because a lot of I just up-leveled. I think a lot of times this is just time for us to prepare to up-level everything. So you are here so I can share you with my friends, my few hundred friends. So can you give my listeners a bio, please?
Definitely. Thank you, first of all, for having me, and it was also nice meeting you as well. It's always welcoming to me to meet grateful and people who are doing the type of things you're doing, which is uplifting the world during this time. So thank you. But my name is Samantha J. Samantha Jackson, but they call me author Samantha J. And I am a 53-year-old woman who's been in several businesses. I also work for a telecommunications company. I won't call the name because sometimes that's not good to do. But I've been with them going on 17 years in August. I'm also an author of 5 books. My latest release is Raw and Real, and How to Live Your Best Life. And what that means is radiant, authentic, worthy, and also endurance, and ambitiously learning to let go. So helping people out there on how to live their real and true life. I've been a business owner in the past, being that I'm in Arizona right now, Tucson, but I've owned 2 hair salons. I've owned a restaurant. I've also co-owned a few businesses. And right now I'm focusing on my business coach and a business and career coach, as well as focusing on my books right now. So that's me, Samantha J.
All right. When I read your bio, I was like, oh, my God, she is just so dope. And I can't believe you're 53 years old. Oh, my God. You have a lot of experience, and you're so young.
Yes, young. Thank God it ain't all me. God has to bring you from the bottom to the top.
Right. So how did you get into, let's say, some of your businesses? Because I'm going to guess that maybe some of the businesses that you started maybe led you in the direction of business coaching.
Yes. I'm a true believer that, you build good bridges even in that just for now job, because you never know how they'll weave into the larger picture of your life. And that's my story. I've done a lot of things. I started out straight out of college in radio, and I did radio for 5 years, but it wasn't paying me what I needed to pay me. And then I went into law enforcement, and I was in law enforcement for 13 years. My mom owned a hair salon for 35 years and a clothing store where she shopped for people down in the low country of South Carolina. And she would shop for people and bring back clothes from all over the world. And so it's always been instilled with me to be, in the hair industry. But, when you're young, my mom kept saying, you need to go to hair school because you need to have that in your back pocket. And I was like, I'll never do hair. I've been in it all my life with you. I'll never do it. Well, what happened was I got into law enforcement after leaving radio, and I was like, I'm still not happy doing this. So I decided to go to hair school and get certified. I was already a certified makeup artist, and I love doing makeup, but I just wasn't sure if I wanted to do the hair. And my mom is a big inspiration behind that because she was like, honey, when these companies and these jobs don't act right, you always got something to stand on. So she always instilled that in me. So after that, I did law enforcement for a while, and then I became the head barber for juvenile justice. And I was just like, you know what, I like doing this, so let me do this. So me and my cousin decided at the time I was doing juvenile justice, and I was also the head barber there, and I was also a manager for hair cuttery. And my mom was like, I don't know why you're working for those folks. You need to get your own. And I was like, well, I don't want the headache behind it. So later on, a couple of years passed, me and my cousin decided to open up our first salon. Then a girlfriend of mine decided she wanted to open up one in Charlotte. So I went into partnership with both of them. And then as time went on, I always liked to cook, and I decided, you know what, I want to do something. I want to combine a restaurant, and I want to combine a hair salon. And everybody thought I was crazy, but I'm the type of person, what you think may be crazy, I'm going to try it. So I decided to take some classes in culinary after all of this, and I got that background, and I decided to be a caterer, and then me and cousin decided we were going to partnership in that. And one thing about me, I always like to do a partnership because partnership was easy for me with me having so many other things going on. And then I took a job here in Arizona with the company I'm working for because, mind you, I was still working for this company full time. And I decided at that time that, okay, I'm just going to focus on writing books. I sold out of my businesses and moved here to Arizona, and here I am. And but how I got started is basically my mom has always been a business owner. She's always owned a hair salon. She always had clothing stores. She had a daycare. So she always instilled into me, it's always good to have your own. And I just started later because I was hard-headed, as we are. And I was like, I'm going to work for these people, have a steady check, and I ain't got to worry about all this stuff. So that's basically how I got started in owning businesses is with my mom.
I think there are a lot of people that say that they want to be business owners, but it's more to being a business owner than saying, I own a business. Your work hours are different. Your mindset is different. It's more than
Definitely.
just. I work for, I'm not going to say the chiropractor's name, in Charleston, South Carolina. I was his intern. And always late. Great chiropractor. I love him. But I started getting on him. Look, just because this is your business and they love you, you still have to be on time. And after I started fussing at him, start getting there on time. If your office opens at 10 o'clock, don't just be rolling up at 5 minutes after 10. That, to me, that's not a respect of entrepreneurship or even a good business practice. Even though you are a physician, you still have to honor people's time. You can't keep thinking that people are going to just come to you just because you have good products. People purchase from who they like. Don't keep betting on people are going to like you and continue to be okay with coming in late. That's the first thing. Um, so with as a career coach, um, I think that's super important too, just because of what I do. I'm an authentic love coach, and I believe in doing what you were divinely created to do. I knew when I was in the third grade that I was going to write and I was going to travel. So, but it took me, like you, doing many things before I got back to writing. So in career coaching, what does that look like in the beginning?
Well, in the beginning, what a lot of people don't realize, first, you have to figure out, we neglect what our purpose is. And that's why it takes all of us so long to go in where we want to be in life. A lot of times in business, it's like a lot of people say, well, I can't do this business. It takes a lot of money, or I can't do this business because I don't know about how to do this. And me, I've always told people as I talk to some clients, first you got to realize who you are in business or career. That's the first thing. You got to figure out what you want. What I tell people, whatever you like to do or you love to do that you can make money off of, that's a business. And a lot of people start in their homes and they can work their way up. But I always share with people it's a few things that you have to understand about business and career. One is what's standing in your way. Two, what will happen if you don't take that step? Three, what does success look like or your goals to you? What are your four whys? And what I mean by that is, a lot of people always ask the question, why this and why that? Or if I do this or if I do that, wonder is this going to work right? Or if I take this job, wonder if I'm going to like this job. So you need to have your four whys and face it up front. The other is, what do I feel about failure? And that's a big thing for people. What I had come to realize, if I don't fail, then I can't be better. So it's good to go ahead and fail at the beginning. So then when you're going through with your business, you can be successful. But a lot of people are scared of failure. So what does failure feel like to you? And then success, you need a success that lies on to a business strategy, either in your career or your business when setting that up. And it's things that people have to realize it's a mind shift. A lot of times our mind is looking one direction, or we out here with people in our ears telling us how it should be, instead of doing your research, taking the time to do your research and change your mind shift into what you have to do. I always tell people I'm a big believer of having a journal. I journal every day because that's going to help you build your dreams on paper. It doesn't have to be necessarily a journal, but it can also be where you're writing your business plan out and you put it on paper so you can see it clearly. And that's with business or in a career. What job are you looking for? And people don't realize that career is your business. Even if you're not wanting to work for yourself, going to work for someone else is a business. So you still need to do these things, such as build a portfolio, write down a vision of what type of jobs are you looking for, how to get started in that job, how much time or money are you willing to spend to better yourself, what skills do you need to develop yourself, what resources will you need to in that career or job that you're wanting to do or have a particular function, or are you ready to move forward and how? So in business or career, it works both ways in the things that I've mentioned.
I never thought about my job like that. I always thought about my job as, now that, I'm in business, it's a way to finance my business way to finance my business so that I can be in my purpose full time. Never thought about the investment in my job as like that. That's you gave me a revelation about that.
But see, a lot
Thank
of people
you.
don't. You're welcome. A lot of people don't, and that's what made me grow. The company that I work for now, I worked for them for 10 years sitting on a phone and did not want to go any further because I had my books and because I had other things going on, the beauty salon, the restaurant. I just wanted to go do my 8 hours and leave. When promotions would come up, I got overlooked a lot. And I was gruntled, I would say. And I was like, okay, I've been working for y'all 10 years. I'm the best of the best, and I can't get promoted. And it took somebody who was real with me to say, okay, Sam, you know, everybody know you got your little 2 books. At the time I had 2 books. Have your books. Everybody know you know, cater on the side. Everybody know you doing this. Everybody know you doing that. What are you doing to show face here for us to promote you? And I had to realize, wow, that's where to build good bridges, even in that just for now job, because you never know how they'll weave into the larger picture of your life. When I took that seriously, even though I wanted my outside stuff to go well, I had to learn time management, and I had to give that same 100% at my job that I said I want to retire from, but I wanted to build a career there. And when I realized I wanted to build a career there, then I went back to school, and I had a criminal justice degree, so I had to get a business management degree. Once I got that degree and they paid for it, all I had to do is go. Here was another resource I was overlooking. Then I had to start saying, okay, now how much time am I willing to spend to get these jobs? Am I willing to give 100%, or am I willing to do my thing and do this here too? I decided, okay, I'm going to give the first hair salon, I said I'm going to leave the salon and I'm going to give it a break because I want to focus now on my career. I gave it a break. I went on to focus on my career. Then I had to decide, okay, what resources I need to make me good. I started taking special classes that they were paying for, that they've always offered to pay for, and I got certifications. I got another degree. Then I started applying for these positions. I was blaming and that's what we tend to do, blame everybody why I wasn't getting these jobs instead of focusing on, let me use this job to do what I want to do, but let me get where I need to be. And so I started building my bridges positively. I started, networking, and I got promoted. And then 2 years later, I got promoted again. Then 2 years later, I got promoted again. And I kept getting promotions in the last few years because I was applying my stuff. Then I said, okay, they're also giving me a resource to start more books and spend more money and making my books even better. And I was getting the resources from there with bonuses and different things that came forth with them. And I took all that and started got my life coach certification. And I said, okay, I'm going to use this money from this bonus to get my take a class in life coach and get my certification. Because a lot of my employees start saying, man, you need to be a life coach. You helped me so much. You've done so much for me. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this for free for the company I'm working for. Let me help other people. And that's how that got started. So it's always using where you are, that now job, to help you get the resources for what you're really wanting to do.
Yeah, that's not something that we often think about. We think that just going there and doing a job, that's it. I mean, if that's what you want to do, yeah, then do that. But if not, then figure out how to do what you love. I think that's so important. That's what brings me happiness. Being able to support another woman in her journey to authentic love and authentic life, whatever that looks like for her. helping somebody write a book. That's what makes me happy. Those things, work is work. It's okay. I get to help people there. I get to help people pay their taxes and get their vehicles registered. Yes, that's a lot of fun, I guess. But if you decided that the entrepreneurship track is not your track, where you're developing, marketing, you're selling a product or a service, if you decide that that's not for you, then yes, that's a great way to look at your job or your career as a business, the business of promoting yourself and help that environment that you're working for that's writing your check be their best. That is really good. So do you think, I was thinking that career coaching may even be good for young people, because so many young people, sometimes young people are picking jobs or careers or going to school based on what their parents think they may be good at. Oh, I think you'll be good as a nurse. You should choose being a nurse. Choose being a doctor. Choose being something. And maybe that's not a good fit.
That's not a good fit for you. That was my issue. You know, my mother felt like, okay, you need to go to college and get a business management degree so when I retire, you can take over my businesses, and you need to go to hair school so you'll have that behind you, and you need to go to design school and hair cutting so you can master this and be a master stylist. And I was like, hold up. I want to be a cop. That was my mindset. I want to be a policeman. I want to be, I want to go out there. And she was like, well, whatever, as long as you go to school. And I put that aside of wanting to do hair and everything and did. I was glad to have a parent that said, okay, if that's what you want to do. But my mother said she always knew I would have to come back to what I was supposed to be doing. And I was an adult and had a child. And she was like, now you're going back to school? And I was like, yep, I'm going to get my hair license. I'm going to get my master stylist license. And all of that was for a reason, because I do have a plan with her later to do something different once this virus is over. But everything you do is a plan. Even if you are doing something that your parents might suggest, it's all in a plan of the biggest part of the whole plan for you is basically being able to understand what you want to achieve at the end. And a lot of times if young people, they don't think about that. They just like, I'm going to get me a job when I get out of college. I want to make X amount of dollars. A lot of your millennials don't want to start at the bottom. They want to start from the top as soon as they walk in the door. And they're not looking at the big picture of what do you really want to achieve with this job. And that's why a lot of people get so down and out on their jobs, because they go after jobs for the wrong reasons. And then it's like, okay, I haven't achieved anything. I don't know what I wanted to achieve, and that's why I'm stuck. A lot of people don't realize before you go after a job, you first need to figure out what you want to achieve. The second thing is build your portfolio around that. Now, I know a lot of people do resumes, and that's fine to do a resume. I would say still build your resume around what you want to achieve to get the job that you really want. But I recommend portfolios because being in the corporate world that I am in now, I realize that most companies now, they're looking at a portfolio quicker than just a resume. So building a portfolio, they have all kind of guidance for that. Or somebody like me, a business coach or a career coach, can help you with your portfolio and give you the content that needs to be in a portfolio. So all of these things are important when looking for the right career.
Could you explain the difference between the resume and the portfolio?
Yes, ma'am. So your resume is just your last job function on a paper. Typed on a paper, the dates that you've worked, the years you've been there, explaining a little bit about your journey of what type of position you held. with your name, your address, and everything on it. That's a resume. A portfolio is getting people into your life so they get to know you personally without knowing you per se. So what it is it's done through PowerPoint, and it's maybe a couple of pictures of you, or it depends on what type of job it is, but you may have a couple of pictures there. You may have some letters from other people you've worked for that can give you them some feedback on what they think about you as an employee, with your reference letters. In that portfolio, you also want to give a brief description of your past job history. But basically, a portfolio is kind of like reading a book about who you are versus just a piece of paper with your job function.
Wow. Oh, I don't know. Last time I did a resume, so I guess if I'm looking for another job, then the portfolio would be the way to go.
Portfolio is definitely the way to go. I learned this years ago when I walked into a job that I wanted in the company I'm working with in-house, and that was some of my feedback. All your peers have a portfolio, but you have a resume. I'm like, but I already work here. I'm just wanting a promotion. But when I realized that even in the promotion, they don't know you the way you think they know you. So I built a portfolio. I paid for a portfolio. I paid good money to get one professionally made, because there are people that do it, starting at $150 and up. And I got it professionally done. And now when I went for my promotion here to Arizona, they said that's the best portfolio I ever seen, because I highlighted just all the activities that I've done with previous teams and pictures. That's why I saved pictures from stuff at work. I highlighted different projects that I did and the success of it. I did a diagram, had them do a diagram of how what it looked like when it started, what it looked like when it ended. And it's just basically telling a story where people can see you on paper.
Interesting. You taught me something today. I've seen some jobs. I've seen when I was looking for a different job since I've moved here to Houston. I've been here 5 years in July. I have seen some jobs that look for that, but for the most part, they're looking for resumes. But after this virus, I just kind of have a feeling people are not going to want to know what type of degrees you have, what type of certifications you have, but what have you done in the world? I know that I was reading year before last that a lot of colleges, they're beginning to move away from so much of the ACT and the SAT. That was going to be a part of it, but what you did you volunteer? Were you a part of anything in school or outside of school? They really want to get to know you, the person, not you, the words. I guess
and that's
that would
where
be what
portfolio. In my portfolio, I have that I'm a member of the Delta Sigma Thetas. In my portfolio, I talk about being an Eastern Star. In my portfolio, I talk about volunteer services. That's where people can really see who you are, and that's on the last page where highlight who I am, and it says about Samantha. And it's like a short bio, but that is not, on a resume you put a bio, but it's not that extensive. It's more extensive. It's a picture with a full page of who I really am, and people can really get to know who you are and what you're capable of. Because when I hire an employee now, I don't care about all your degrees, to be honest. I'm glad you have some, but I want to know who you really are, because me knowing who you really are is going to let me understand how you're going to work with other people.
That is definitely true. I think that a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are changing since this virus. I don't know that the hiring process. I feel like the hiring process is going to change. We as individuals, I think, our thought about being an employee, an employer, or even an entrepreneur, all of that's going to change as it's identified after this. Not right now, because to me, we're kind of still in this. The virus is not, to me, showing any signs of a halt. Maybe a slowdown, but not so much as a halt.
Mhm. Well, I tell people during this virus time, what people have to do is don't waste any of this time that you have, because this is where you have a lot of time to write your business plan, to do a portfolio, to start outlining some things. Right now, they're offering a lot of free classes online to people to help them learn Microsoft, to be able to do Google, be able to use Google, Microsoft, and Adobe for chats and meetings and WebExes. So some of these classes are free, and I do advise a lot of companies are going to be using a lot of that. So to take these free classes while you're sitting home and take advantage of some things to help you be better, so when this virus is over, you're ready to step out and you're ready to go for what you want.
Yeah. I think that, I'm excited at what this new world is going to look like, because so many people are saying, I can't wait to get back to my normal life. Well, what is your normal life? Because whatever that was before, it's not going to look like that as we go back into the workplace, as we go back into church, as we go back into me. I'm a concert fiend. As we go back into concerts, because I heard that there may not be any concerts again until 2021.
Right.
So,
well, and this is where you take the good with the bad. You turn it into a good thing, because now they're doing all these concerts free, or some concerts are on the WebExes and on the different sites for $5 versus you paying $60, $70 to go to a concert. So that's what I tell people. We're talking about how this virus is affecting us, but we're not looking at how we can take advantage of it and live in the moment of what we can be doing now.
So definitely this has birthed some creativity in a lot of people. I definitely will say that. A lot of people have become very creative. I have seen some great concerts, but people should not expect that things are going to go back the same way that they were before.
Right.
Don't expect that. And we, I believe that we lost sight of what our life looks like. Well, I think we kind of, we're not grateful for what our lives looked like before any of this. We were just so unappreciative. And I'm saying we because me too. When I would leave the house, I would walk my little dog, go on to work, come home from work, walk my little dog. Had I not been at home, I think day 3 of my pandemic of positivity, I looked out. I was like, man, this grass is really green. It's probably been green the whole time, but I didn't have time to appreciate just something minor like that. And I'm hoping that this is going to bring an appreciation of life, an understanding of who we are as individuals, who we are as and what our purpose is, because there are some of us who are actually sitting on our purpose, what we were placed on the earth to do. And I just believe if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, then you couldn't help those people that you were supposed to help. I mean, that's how I feel about everybody. So we all need to bring our A game and figure out what our purpose is, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's get digging deep into our career and improving in whatever area of our life that we need to, because we are mentoring people from afar. People are looking at you. Now I'm going to be watching you too. People are looking at you. That's just so in introspect when you think of that. What do you think of stuff like that, or I'm just the oddball who thinks of things like that?
No, I think about stuff like that, and that's why I try to do the right things. I try to be careful what I put on social media. I have 2 pages, one for my books and my personal page, but my personal page has also turned into kind of like a business page. So I try to make sure I'm paying much attention on what, because people don't realize I like to have fun. I like to do things. But it's hard when you try to show yourself, and you shouldn't show yourself on social media. I learned that over the years, because when you do apply for jobs, that's the first thing an employee goes and look at now, your social media. The reason why they do that, because, again, they're trying to figure out what type of person is coming to work for them. So I know people are watching. People are curious, and some people are watching to see, if you're next level. And that's why I always tell people, and some people get mad, but be careful what you put on social media. Be careful of telling your business on social media, because a lot of jobs, a lot of companies, people that may want to invest in you, that's the first place they go is to your social media sites to see who you are. So, yes, I like the fact that people are watching, but I'm careful what I put out there for people to see for that same reason.
Yeah, that digital footprint that I try to talk to young people about all the time is just super important to consider, because they not only look at you, they look at who you're connected to, what you share, because that's all you too.
Mhm.
That is so important to have an understanding of that digital footprint. You can't just erase it. It's not just because it's private to you. What happens if one of your friends shares it?
And I tell my adult kids that as well. But, of course, a lot of adults are going to do what they want to do, be adults. But later on, when it comes back, I had a client call me and was like, I was trying to help my son get this job, and I'm helping her with some business aspects. And she was like, it bothered me so much because he cannot find a job. And she said, one of the people say, I looked at your social media, and you have guns and drugs and money. We don't want that type of person working. She said, I don't know what to do at this. And I said, with him being the age that he is, he needs to, first of all, clean up his social media page. He needs to be more professional about his life and about himself before people will consider hiring him. And he has a college degree, and he's going out here for a corporate job. So that's just a prime example that I share with people, because it gets so depressing for a lot of young people when they're looking for these jobs straight out of college, but they wonder why they can't get it, or it's not. Be careful of your social media pages, because most of the time employees go there first just to see who you are.
Yeah, I try to share that all the time. I even share it on my social media with grown people that I say, man, you can't be doing this, ma'am and sir. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's perfect. All right. So, man, the time has passed by so fast.
Yes,
that's how I know I got that. That's how I know I got a good guest.
Awesome.
Well, we're gonna have to partner and do some things together soon, or sometime. We have plenty of time to. My job is not. They don't have any idea when we're going back to work. I'm okay with that. It just gives me more time to come up with creative ideas to make money, creative ideas to move more or flow differently in my purpose. So that's what that does for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm excited about this time. I'm sad that Texas, a Republican state, has decided to open the floodgates. Just because you can't do something, that doesn't mean you should. And I'm just going to stay in the house, go out for grocery, go out for things that I need, and just come back in. I'm okay with that.
And I am too. I'm just blessed. I just was advised by the company I work for, we're going to be working from home until September. So there it lies. I still have a job. Thank God for a job. But during this time, I tell people I'm working on a magazine, Inspiring Youth. I will be at Samantha J doing a column in that magazine. It's based in the United States, but it's also international magazine. I'm also working on writing another book. I'm just working on other things, doing shows like yourself at least once or twice a week. I have another one tomorrow. So in this time, people don't realize you can still be proactive in doing things and not have to worry about, I'm just sitting here wasting my day. It's a lot of time to plan for your next level and it's time for people to level up, because after this, it's going to be a new normal. And it's going, what people say, I can't wait to get back to normal. Me, I know it's going to be a new normal. So now I'm saying, okay, Lord, what do you have for me to do next? Because I need to start working on it. And I pray about it, and I start journal, and I write down what my next move is going to be. And then I say, you know what? This is going to be the new normal, so let me take a look at this, stepping out on faith and doing what I got to do. And that's what we have to do as individuals.
Definitely. When this started for me personally, I chose to spread a pandemic of past positivity because there was so much misinformation out, so much overwhelming information, and I just think that positive about this. There's some good things that can come out of this. Although there are some families that are struggling, it could be just a hump to rebuild your family. Some relationships are struggling. Could be just a hump to get you back, give you that kickstart that you need to get it together. So God paused the entire world, not just our city, not just our states, our nation, but the entire world. Just because the Americans seem to be a little bit hard-headed, we're going to get it together. We'll get it together.
Yes. Oh, yes, I truly believe that. And definitely look forward to doing some things with you going forward in the future. Anybody interested in my books can go to www.authorsamanthaj.com, and all of my books are there except for one, and the rest of them could be found on Amazon under Samantha Joyner. My Facebook page is Author Samantha Jackson. If you're interested in inboxing for some life coaching, I'm available through there, or email me at authorsamanthaj.com at gmail.com.
Great. So I always ask 3 takeaways. You dropped so many nuggets. I don't even know how we can get 3 takeaways from this. So let's go with 4.
So you want me to give you 4 takeaways?
Give me 4 takeaways that you want every listener to come away with.
All right. One takeaway is mind shifting. Make sure that, you shift your mind before you try to start a business or start a new career. The second thing is write down what you want to achieve, how much time or money you're willing to spend in your career, your business. The third thing is are you ready to move forward and how? Start a business plan or start writing down some things that you want to do once you're able to start going out and doing them. And write down your whys. What are your 4 whys behind everything you want to do in your career or your business before you get started?
All right, Miss Samantha, thank you so much for joining me on Saturday. This Saturday, I don't know what your Saturday has been like, but this was the first time I got out to food banks since March, and it made me so happy, but it made me so sad. I didn't get to hug all of my friends.
I'm sorry.
Man, me too. That it's something to be around people who are loving people, and then you can't love on them the way that you all are accustomed to.
Right.
That was just so hard for everybody. Everybody was like looking like behind the mask, like we want to hug you, but you would see some arms going, and then everybody would look at each other. That was just so sad. I do not want that to be the new normal.
Right.
I do
well,
not
we
want
just have to
that.
pray and ask God to lead and guide us.
Yes. That's the normal that I want to go back to. Not whatever the other normal was.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to end like I always do. I love you. Be authentic. And thank you guys for letting me help you be great on Next Level with Trenace. And I will see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. You guys have a great week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for having me.